Hi friends, have you ever heard of divorce? Are you divorced? Are you planning or thinking of divorcing? Divorce is the most painful experience I've personally ever gone through. I went a very painful divorce. And the pain that comes with divorce, you can't wish even to your worst enemy. Divorce is painful. This is from my experience. I don't know about others. But what I know is that divorce is not a fun. And if people can afford it, avoid it at whatever cost. Put positive energy. Put everything you have in order to avoid divorce. Because divorce is very traumatizing. It affects all aspects of your life. I was divorced about 19 years ago. I remember it was on a Valentine's Day. So when other women were receiving gifts, kisses, romance, etc. from their husband, I was receiving a divorce from my ex. It was on a Thursday, February 2002. Yes. That's another story for Valentine. God willing, next year, I'll tell you this story on how I felt that day as far as Valentine is concerned. Yes, I got divorced. I had initiated reconciliation. I had done my level best. Even today, as I stand even before God, I normally tell God, God, remember, I did everything within my limits to make my marriage work. I've never blamed myself because I know I did my level best to make it work. But it didn't work. When the magistrate announced that he has dissolved our marriage, I could not believe it. Our marriage took only 3 months for the case to process. So when he stood there, or he sat there for that matters, and he announced this dissolution of our marriage, I could not believe it. Actually, I was asking myself, is he talking about our marriage? You mean our marriage has ended? Our divorce took place in Kerugoya. I remember even the room number 8. From Kerugoya courtrooms or court to the place where I would take matatu or mat to Nairobi, I think I took almost 2 hours. I went somewhere and sat down and cried uncontrollably. I felt traumatized. Actually, I felt embarrassed. I felt betrayed. Actually, I felt naked. It's like I was hiding from people my nakedness. I came out of the courtroom very slowly. I could not even face the people. I could not, look at the people direct into their eyes. It was a very traumatizing day for me. I cried even when I got into matatu from Kerugoya to Nairobi. I cried like a baby. Our marriage has ended. Yes, I want to be sincere with you, friends. My life has never been the same since I got divorced. You might say, she has never moved on. Let me tell you, I have moved on. But moving on is not moving on. You get stuck. The effects of divorce, yeah, especially when I see my son, I never move on. I got stuck. I want to say this, and I say this with all humility and with a lot of respect, that no marriage is beyond repair. Before you throw stones to me, no marriage is beyond repair. If two people can sit together, the way they sat down together when they were starting the marriage, they can still sit down together when the marriage is on verge of collapsing. People can sit down and talk like two grown-ups. But do you know what? Some of the things that lead to even to divorce, yeah, they are sometimes even external. Sometimes you don't ask me why I was divorced. I was never unfaithful to my husband or to my ex. I didn't know whether he had a mpango account. I don't know. I was that naive. So there's nothing that I can pinpoint. Well, what I know is that there was a lot of domestic violence. My ex used to beat me thoroughly. Even daytime, he would run with nyahunyo. Yeah, nyahunyo kiboko. He would beat me like a child. But still, when I considered my children, by that time I had 2 children. Today I have 1. The effects that their divorce might have on the children, I feel like, oh, let me still hold on. Yes, it happened. Sometimes it is on personal, selfish reasons or gains that make divorce to happen. One party can feel, I'm not losing anything. One person can feel the other one is the loser. But let me tell you, nobody is a winner in a divorce. Nobody is a winner. I tell you sincerely, nobody wins in divorce. If anything, the two of you lose. No marriage is beyond repair. Divorce is traumatizing. Divorce affects all aspects of your life. There's a lot of emotional baggage that comes with the divorce. And people should think twice before they divorce. When there are some disagreements, and I normally say disagreements in the house, they're actually very normal and very healthy. When you disagree, it's very healthy. But when one person goes outside to look for a shoulder to cry on, yeah, that is when things go haywire. Divorce can be avoided at all costs. And I think the reason why divorce is so painful, it is because God hates divorce. Biblically, divorce is evil. It's a sin. During Malachi's time, this is Malachi chapter 2. You can read from verse 13 to 17. Where God says, I hate divorce. It is there in black and white. During Malachi's time, divorce was rampant. And most of these forsaken wives or forsaken women, divorced women, would come at the Lord's altar to cry out their hearts unto God. They would be in anguish. They would be uncontrollable. And these same husbands who have divorced or forsaken these wives for other women would still come to bring their offerings to God. And God would say, I really reject your offerings. I hate it when you bring me offerings, yet your wives are in tears. God knows the pain that comes with the divorce. And I think this is why he says, I hate it. But guess what? Divorce, like any other sin, yeah, it's a sin. But God hates sin, but not the sinner. We should not be hard on ourselves, the divorced people. We have a place in the kingdom of God. Let me say this again. We have the place of God in the kingdom of God. Because God hates divorce, but he does not hate the divorcee or the divorced people. We have a place in the kingdom of God, not in the church. In the kingdom of God. When you have a place in the kingdom of God, it is whereby you define yourself outside your church in relationship you have with God, in relation to God. You define yourself. What does the Bible say about you? Not what the church say about you. Because I know so many churches have not embraced divorced people. I salute those churches which even do have divorce classes. And these churches are very few. To others, a divorced person is a social misfit. Yeah. She cannot be allowed even to, to take part in church activities or, to be elected in any post in the church. But guess what? When you define yourself in the Lord, yeah, yes, God, here I'm a sinner. Like anybody else, yes, we are all sinners and fallen short of the glory of God. Nobody is not a sinner. And I normally urge pastors in the churches, please don't behave as if you live in heaven and then you come to earth in the morning. Have a reality checkup. Understand the real thing. What is there, the ground? What are some of the challenges your people are going through? Yeah. You are isolated. Oh, personally, I was working in the church. Yeah. And nobody has ever come to visit me to see how I'm doing. Sorry, I don't want to go to that way. I want to stick to the divorce and the effects of divorce. The effects are both negative and positive. And actually, the negative effects of divorce outweighs the positive effects. There are some instances whereby a person can feel, no, my life is at risk. No. Just follow your heart. Follow your heart. Yeah, follow your heart. The only ground that the Bible gives or grants for divorce is unfaithfulness. But do you know that a lot of extramarital affairs are happening in marriage setups. But, and this, and this is happening when we, the divorced, are being condemned, are being rejected, yet those who are unfaithful, they're still in the church. I don't want to talk about that. I should not judge anybody. Let me stick to my lane. Divorce can be avoided at all costs. Divorce is traumatizing. Divorce is evil. Divorce is not even an African thing. Do you know that? Divorce is not an African thing. It's a Western thing, if I may put that way, whereby we assume people are comfortable when they divorce. But I Googled somewhere and I read something that in United States, every day, about 10 divorced men commit suicide. 10 men every day commit suicide because of divorce. And we think it's a fun. It's not a fun. It's not a fun. It's not a fun. Please think twice. Think twice when you're thinking about divorcing. Think twice. It hurts. It pains. It demoralizes. It dehumanizes. That is how bad divorce is. So, you are divorced. God's grace is enough for you. You are thinking about divorcing, think twice. Nobody is a winner in divorce. We are all losers when we divorce. And nobody should brag about divorce. Thank you. Be my date on the Valentine of 2022. I will tell you how I felt when I was divorced on a Valentine Day. God willing, He'll keep us. Thank you, and God bless.